virtual Christmas with OneStream Live. It was the night before Christmas, and all through the stream, not a viewer was stirring. It seemed like a dream. The cameras were set, the lights shining bright, in hopes that Santa would soon be in sight. The live chat was buzzing with excitement and cheer as viewers waited for Santa to appear. With OneStream Live, the stream was grand, bringing Christmas joy to every social land. The countdown began and anticipation grew as the streamers prepared, their hearts all awoo. With live streaming magic, they spread holiday cheer, delivering joy to everyone on web, far and near. The sleigh bells jingled as Santa arrived. Through multi-streaming, his presence survived. He waved to the camera. The love was transmitted. Through social media and websites, the Christmas spirit rekindled. The viewers rejoiced, their spirits now bright, as Santa granted their wishes all through the night. With OneStream Live, the magic was real. From the North Pole to screens, our Christmas was ideal.
Hello everybody, Big Joe Shep here, founder and head of live streaming and engagement at Livestream Solutions, Livestream Academy, and joint venture partner, content creator, and a whole pile of other things with the glorious OneStream Live. As you can see, I am ensconced in Espoo in Finland in the head offices this evening to bring some Christmas cheer. I hope everybody enjoys my Christmas. There we go. I'm already getting some comments in, so we'll come to you in just a second. Bear with me. Do you know, often Christmas time is a very, very busy time of year. So this is episode 2 of our 4-part OneStream Live winter mini series, where we are looking at the reflections of 2024. Episode 1 last week. If you didn't watch it, go to OneStream Live on YouTube, subscribe and watch part 1, where we looked at the huge successes that they've had. We'll cover that in a bit in a minute. My own company, Livestream Solutions, Livestream Academy. But just before the show, I had a call from a pal of mine who said, is it, he says, how do you give it an analogy to Christmas? So I said, look, maybe it's like putting up a Christmas tree, okay? So you begin with a good base, but by the end, you notice you've thrown some of the ornaments on, they're hanging in odd places, you know, a few lights just don't work, a bit like my brain at times. And somehow the whole tree is leaning, not in the positive ways, like the leaning tower or leaning Christmas tree of pizza. But that's part of the fun, isn't it? It's embracing the little messes and enjoying the festive chaos together. So let's get this tree lit up and running and have a great time. Episode 2, as I say, of OneStream Live's winter mini-series, reflections of 2024 and strategies at 2025. Tonight, we will be discussing 2 interconnected areas to help kickstart our journey, your journey into live streaming and digital engagement. But we're tying that in with how to secure some last-minute holiday savings across areas and just some critical thoughts for people. So even if you're the sort of person who thinks, yeah, like I'm really special when I look in the mirror, we've got your back. Anybody can do this, because I do as well. So you got to keep it right here, because tonight we are going to be looking at some really, really exciting things in episode 2. Because again, as ever, this is OneStream Live, and you've got to keep it here. Welcome back. So I'll tell you what we're going to do first. We've got our unified chat on. Remember that? That's the thing where we can go live across multi-destinations and the chat all comes into one location. So we've got the guru, the godfather himself, is watching us on YouTube, Stephen Healy. Stephen, good evening to you. I hope you and Angelica are both doing well. Whole lot to you. And we've got one number blocks. I can't even. Sounds a great title. I need to have a look at that. But you're welcome to the show, lads. Anyway, and if any anybody else watching live, excuse me, give us any questions that you've got on tonight as well. And if you're watching on catch up, just say R for replay and what are your questions, and one of the team we will get back to you and answer your question, because that's all part of the follow-up, the engagement in what we're doing. This is just one part, as everybody knows. Okay, so one of the things that we wanted to really look at tonight was, in fact, honestly, I can't emphasize enough about going back, not because it was my show, but go to OnStream Live and so hit subscribe, because the stuff that's happening there at the moment from OnStream Live is groundbreaking. Last week's show, I covered on the successes of 2024, not just for me and my company, but from OnStream Live, and the huge amounts of support and sponsorship they'd given across the globe to various entities. It's really, really inspiring on what the team excuse me, are doing. So go and rewatch that again, because it brings home to you what can happen in only 12 months and where it's going. So go to OnStream Live YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. So tonight we've got another message in there, just one second. Tonight we're going to be looking at holiday deals and gift guides. And so let's talk about something very, very vital first. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and these are just thought provokers, because I want to tie in the fact of we have a longevity with OnStream Live and with my own company and with all the live streamers about making sure that we can do this properly, successfully, build the correct foundations as we are moving forward, because that's really important. So when it comes down to buying things and money and what you need to get started, that's why it's all tied in tonight. So we really wanted to bring you, I spoke to the team, and we really, really wanted to bring you some thoughts about, this time of year, where can you save a little bit of money, but then how do you then turn that, some innovative ideas, because a lot of people, ladies and gents, leave their shopping for the last minute. It's like, oh, what do I get so-and-so? What apart from the kids, excuse me, who most of the kids nowadays have everything anyway. But as adults, what do we need? I'm 60 years of age, and there is nothing. I give my kids ideas of things to get. I don't. They just end up giving me some really nice things, because they think it through, things that are practical, and that's what I say to people tonight. So there's one of our guests saying hello to the great Stephen Healy there. Facebook user, again, it's a Facebook issue, lads. I can't see who that is. I will be able to afterwards, but if it's somebody coming through my profile, again, I can't see that. And I don't want to get into, I've monitored where it's going out to the night, and it's all going now. So that's what we do first thing. So it's great to have everybody joining us here. So let's talk about the things that I felt were vital and important to talk about at the very beginning. So here's a couple of thoughts for you before we go on and give you some tips about how you can save money and the things you need to get started, and then overcoming some challenges with live streaming. It all links in like that, because it is morally and socially correct at this time of year when people are struggling for money on. Many people will be juggling the finances between gifts and decorations and food, and if you're low on cash, then you've got to think creatively, innovatively about, your purchases. What will have a lasting impact? That's the question I'm asking you. Consider things like an educational program. Consider things like subscription services to something that will benefit the individual you're going to get it for. Think about, consider an experience that they'll get that will benefit your loved one, or if you're a business owner, for your business and your staff within your business over the next 12 months. Because I'll ask you this, the second point is, right, are you helping somebody start an unforgettable journey from now on over the next 12 months? Because in 12 months' time, which will go that fast, really, really that fast, where will you be? You'll be 12 months older, but will you effectively have moved forward? So are you going to just, it's nice getting little tiny gifts, but what I call, if you like, frivolous and tacky and stuff that, everybody likes to open up a present and stuff like that. But really think about giving people something that benefits them more long term. And I'm going to come back to why I'm promoting that bit there, and the socially and ethically and moral stance that OneStream Live have in helping people in the journey long term. That's why I'm working, and that's why I'm working with the great Stephen Haley, because we all believe in the same thing. Our friend saying it's holiday. It is holiday time. We love it. It's my favorite time of the year, as everybody knows. That's why I've been, the last couple of weeks, we have been putting up a various number of posts about the history of Christmas and the Winter Festival, Pagan Yule, Saturnalia, all the way through. And in the last couple of weeks as well, again, keeping to my own beliefs of we're going to come on to this, shopping local, then global where possible. We've been doing a 2-week program where we've been giving shout outs and promoting small and local business, because that's important at this time of year, where you can, first of all, that you need to do that. Facebook user was White Walker 1. Great, David. Topping, Dave, up there in Ulster. And Thursday night, they've got their show, if you're into rugby, the Ulster Rugby Roundup Show and Irish Rugby, and a range of other wider issues there. White Walkers Chat and Crack. You'll find that on the Livestream Solutions channels, on TikTok as well, and on YouTube. So, Dave, you're welcome to the show. Thanks for supporting us. Dave looks after all of our video. Does all our video shorts. I'm going to come on to that in a little bit as well, about how you can help things. So there we are. So BJS, Big Joe Chef, for those people, how would you not know? BJS top tips for shopping. So go back to what I just said. Shop local first whenever possible. Support local businesses before looking globally. We all shop globally, lads. We all shop globally. We know we do. Because sometimes if you're sending stuff across the globe to people, then that's the only way. Sometimes it's just cheaper. And if you're on a budget, I get that we're talking about budgets tonight. But here's the 3 things I want you to think about tonight. Apart from the one I've just said to you about, is it necessary, or can you get something that's more tangible and then will set people up for the future longer term? I'm an advocate of lifelong learning. That's why I say that. Here's the 3 top tips. Shop local first when you can, and support your local businesses. And if anybody can do this, Betty, online, if you go to Joe Shep on my Facebook profile, Joe Shep, you'll see in the last, starting a week last Monday, a week yesterday, just gone, we did shout outs for small local businesses, mostly in Ireland, a couple in the UK as well. Have a look at what we do there. You can replicate that for if you've got somebody that you know has got a local business, small business, individual, or they're trying to, if they're bricks and mortar type shop and they're trying to get things going or keep things going. Nobody's doing anybody any favors in Ireland or the UK. Governments aren't at all. So small businesses are the bedrock of your community. So you need to support them. So wherever possible, shop local first. The second thing I'd say to you is a promise note. A promise note, okay, so you get a personalized Christmas card, handwrite it. Great getting them from these online shops. Some are very, very funny, but there's no personalization there per se, because it's all typed. Handwrite something to somebody every now and again. Oh, it's such a cathartic feeling of what you're doing with people. It personalizes everything, and we're losing a little bit of that in this more connected world, but we're wider apart than ever. So get a personalized card and put a promise note in there, and the promise note is to a value or something, and wait for the New Year sales to get your purchase, because you're going to get it a half or a third of the price. Actually, the New Year sales, certainly in UK and Ireland and Europe, they start around about the 27th, don't they? So you don't even have to wait. So it's a couple of days. And then that ties into the third critical point. So 1, shop local where possible. 2, get a promise note and wait. Practice delayed gratification and wait until the New Year sales, where you can get twice as many things, or 3 times as many things, or a half. Whichever way the maths in your head works, it's going to be better off. And this ties in with, well, what about Christmas Day? Let me tell you, it's come home to me very, very closely again this year, with my partner being ill, very ill. Cherish togetherness. It is more important to value the loved ones around the tree than to focus solely what's underneath it. So that takes you back to 2, the promise note, to get something that they truly want. And 1, if you can buy that locally, you can. And goes back to the very beginning of the show tonight on get something for somebody that they are going to benefit from themselves in the long term. Educational, subscription service, anything, a course, anything like that. That's where I think you should go. Now, mastering time for shopping. But if we're going to shop before Christmas, okay, you've got to get food, you've got to get bits and pieces like that. Okay, here's just a couple of wee tips that you can go. Mastering time shopping, we call it. So shopping at the end of the day can lead to fantastic deals. Why clearance sales? Retailers often mark down their items at closing time to clear the inventory. This is especially true, isn't it, in with perishable items. So food, already we're seeing non-food things. So some local shops here, and already the Christmas paraphernalia, decorations, all that are all half price because it's gone past the 12th. I think is the date. It's gone past the 12th or 13th, whatever the halfway point. They need to start selling this and getting rid of this for this year's now. So it's gone half price. We don't wait. We're trying to get in there. Well, what happens if I don't get that thing there? So what? You'll get something. Maybe you don't get the turkey you want. Maybe Scrooge ain't going to wake up on Christmas Day and go, "Oh, Big Joe Chef, trot on, boy, and get me the biggest goose that one in the window." It ain't going to happen, lads. It ain't going to happen. So perishable items, especially go to your local shops and go and support them and say, listen, what you do at the end of sales, with your stuff to your half price or whatever, the bigger supermarkets, the more localized supermarkets, especially good here in Ireland, very, very good. But here's the problem, lads. I think we have a bit of a hang up about, I used to, reverse snobbery, you would probably call it, going to the clearance bit in the in the supermarket or the shop. Don't worry about it at all. Really, just don't worry about it at all. Go to the end of the day shopping, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, before the stores are closing. You can get an absolute wonder amount of stuff that you can get 3, 4, 5 times as much for. Okay, so that's what they're doing. The stores, sales strategy, stores will reduce the prices at the end of the day to attract the evening shoppers, especially, or clear out space for incoming stock next day, especially at this time of year, the busy time of year where there's a lot of turnover and they're having to get in, get out. So the evening, if you can do that, if you're coming home late at night and you're late from work and you can go in at 7, 8, 9 o'clock or so and get the end of the day, wow. Don't forget, a lot of this food can be stuck in your freezer, lads. There we go. Anyway, just a thought. So the limited stock bit, the perishable stuff, the discounted online deals. Many online retailers offer deals that do reset at midnight. So shopping late gives access to those, because I don't know why people just don't do it. Maybe just because we're just used to the psyche of we'll go out, we'll buy whatever we need to do, or if you're shopping online for a food shop and things like that. I don't know, but there's nothing wrong with, if you've got to make money go in a number of different ways, just think a little bit more innovatively and creatively. That's all we're trying to do tonight. So what you need to know? Well, you need to know what the store hours are. Be aware of the closing time so you can shop effectively. Check for discounts. Ask the employees in the shop, like I said before. Look for the signage about the end of day markdowns. Be patient. Wait until later can lead to much better prices, but be prepared for probably a limited selection on what it is you want to do. If it's kids' toys and stuff like that, it's difficult to accept, but we're talking about other things here now, aren't we? Okay, so all of these things in the round, everything we've covered so far, are all a better way to shop smart. Again, tips for bulk buying more. Purchasing in bulk can reduce costs significantly. There's a lot of local stores will do it. Yes, the likes of Amazon, other companies aren't available, lads. Do it so you're on a repeat and you get a reduction of that. Go to your local shop and say and work out what it is you need. You know, if you're on a finite budget, say, okay, if I can save this bit here, it's the same with Sky or Virgin or whoever your TV provider is or your broadband provider. I do it every single year. So 2 weeks ago, I renegotiated my contract for the next 12 months with 2 of the leading suppliers, and I am saving about 900 quid a year on that. And in fact, in 6 months' time, I'll do the same thing again with the TV provider, because every 6 months their packages change, and I'll go back and say, right, I don't want to stay with you. It's just numbers. But we don't do it. We don't do it with insurances. We don't shop around enough. Google shopping. Now, when I say about, I get a bit of a hard time. People sometimes saying, excuse me, you use Google, you promote Google all the time, the Google Drive, the Google Systems, and like that's part of your business. I do, and I think Google's great. But Alphabet, the parent company, what I don't want to do is I don't want to be paying ads to them. I don't like the way Facebook, Meta, only show a post to 2.5% to 5% of the followers because they're trying to get you to buy ads. That's what I'm against. But Google Shopping, for example, use it as a tool. Go into Google Shopping, use it as a tool and find out where the deals are. Take the time and shop around. Prioritize the value. Focus on value, ladies and gents, instead of brand loyalty. A brand is only as loyal to you as it wants to be, especially the big players, the big companies. We know this, and yet we still. So if you go to any of the sorry, I'm just coming in. If you've got any of the supermarkets that you've got locally, they all have their own brand. And I have to say, the standard of the food now for the value brands, I think, is pretty damn good over the big players. The world has changed. You know, the Aldis and the Lidls and all of those types of the companies are available around the globe. All of those other types are changing the way we do it because it's just phenomenal. So look at the own value brands of some of these other companies, and you're helping the smaller companies as well, by the way, at the same time. So look at those type of things. You don't have to go for, I'm not going to name any more brands, but you're not going to have to go for a certain maker of tomato ketchup because it's this. My big thing is baked beans, right? We've now gone baked beans. So we shop around all the time for baked beans. The leading brand of baked beans are very, very good. But I tell you what, I've now found a company, and through one of the smaller supermarkets here, it does baked beans that matches them. And they are about a sixth of the price. You know what? That means 6 tins of baked beans for the big fella. Boom. Not somebody you want to go too close to with 6 tins of baked beans, but yeah, know the point I'm making. Think around. Focus on value instead of brand loyalty. Look at your coupon codes to maximize savings. It's really, really good. We've got, in fact, I will name these because I actually like them as a company, an Irish company called Dunn's. Or Dunes, it's like sort of Waitrose over here. And they do a very good thing where on food items when you're shopping, I think it's €10 off 50 on your next shop or €5 off 25. Well, that's great because that's bringing you back, but also shows what they can do at the same time. Another Facebook good point being brought up here that ties in nicely with this. I don't know who this is, accuser. Good evening, Joe. I'm just going to have a quick wee look at it's Nick Gaffney. Nicola, good evening to you, ma'am. I hope you are well. Always a pleasure. Have a quick look there on our Facebook. And Nick is saying the self-scan options help to keep it brilliant. Yeah. I forgot about that one. Well done, Nicola. We like that a lot. So as you're going around, if you've got a set amount of budget against your list of the stuff you're looking for, then that you'll be able to sort of run that through as well and see where you're saving and see what the tally is as you're going around. So cashback and credit cards, these can benefit you as you shop. Excuse me. So if you've got a credit card or a debit card with, depending on which bank you're with, there are a range of those. If you have to use them, you can get stuff back from. Thrift smart thinking is a point that I wanted to bring up. One of the things that's really growing across UK and Ireland and Europe, I'm sure the States will be the same, and other regions as well, is the idea of thrift smart shopping and savings. So it's massive, starting to get really massive over here now, the circular economy. So how we can use products and items and how we can reuse them and before they get sort of, waste. Excuse me. So that's a really, really good thing. I'm trying to think what they call it on the clothing side, but it's growing anyway. Thrift shops for used items. An awful lot of thrift shops and charity shops now will only take fairly new stuff. Let's not deny it, and they get some bargains there as well. Don't be afraid. If you're limited on money, then shop around, do it. We've got this old psyche, I think, of people of a certain age, whereas I think the younger generation probably, hey, don't give a monkey's toss at all about going to a thrift shop or reusing, recycling some clothing, or what did they call it? Upscaling or up marketing on a piece of item so that it isn't wasted. Where there's brass, where there's muck, there's brass, is the old expression, isn't it? The other thing I wanted to talk about, which I've noticed, is a thing called when you go a shopping cart. So you go online and you look at something, and you may put something in your shopping cart, and then you think, okay, well, I'll go off and look at some other things as well. Well, there's a thing called the abandoned cart discounts. So what happens is stores and retails don't want to lose a potential customer. So if you've left something in your cart, excuse me, you'll notice this. You'll automatically get an email. Oh, we think you've left something in your cart. Don't lose out on it. Come back to us now. Potential discount to it. I tell you, it does it all the time. The company Temu and Shein and all of those. Just wait a week or so, and the discounts come rolling down, because it's all about turnover stuff. So the abandoned cart discounts. I'll come on to something about dynamic pricing in just a minute. But so they don't want to lose your customer, so they'll contact you with a discount. Again, subscribe and save programs, as well as the big company I mentioned before. Go to your local shops where you want to support and say, have they got a subscribe and save? I put a couple of bob each month in from the UK into a small wine company that helps small wineries around the globe, little tiny small wineries across the globe, to be able to do it. And in the end, I then get a discount on a bit of wine, and it's great because you're helping more small businesses like that to be able to keep going. So subscribe and save programs. Shop local first. If you think, well, that small shop won't do that because they're smaller, you never know until you ask them. Go in and ask them. I know at least 4 or 5 shops that absolutely do that. I think that's Nick again. Upcycling. That's the word. Upcycling. Well done, Nicola. So all of those type of things, they're just little tips of things that you can do. Gift cards can be a clever way to shop as well. Again, my daughter-in-law and my son and daughter-in-law in the States, she wanted the gift card this year so she could then use it when the time is right for the right thing. But I got one in a little Christmas. It was in a little Christmas round metal box. It was blue with the front. It was like the shape and the colours and that of a large snowflake. So it hangs on the tree. You can be innovative and be creative with it. There's nothing wrong with getting a voucher for somebody, because again, it goes back to delayed gratification. You can use it when the time is right for the right thing if you don't know what to get now, rather than somebody getting you something that you don't necessarily want. We come back again, refurbished items, reliable savings, are always available on refurbished products. Have a look at those. Brand alternatives, we discussed that very much at length as well. Follow brands on social media. Follow your local businesses on social media. Go back again if you like them and you use them. Promote them. go to Joe Shep, go to my profile on Facebook, have a look at some of those examples on the small and local business virtual expo I've been doing for this last 10 days. Excuse me. Oh, and by the way, we take it a stage further in 2025, where we will be running a couple of times in the year. We're trying to work out dates at the moment, where a virtual expo where we'll get, say, 10 local businesses in one day. We'll give them a 30-minute opportunity to live stream, so they get used to doing that and see what that's like. Promote the brand. It's cheap as chips to be able to do. So online virtual expos, this is like a precursor to it. It's a good feeling, you know. I get nothing from it whatsoever, other than the feeling of I'm helping people I know, small businesses that I know, to keep going and do the right thing. You know, that's great. Special discounts, by the way. Look out for discounts for always available for students, for seniors, old age pensioners, military personnel, veterans. Who else? Blue light services, emergency services, you know, fire bobbies, police, ambulances, and nurses, and all that sort of type of thing. There's a whole pile of stuff there. I tell you what's really, really interesting is now watching the local business groups on Facebook, where they're all promoting each other. You'll find lots of deals in there. So there we go. And the very final one on this is clearing your cookies. You know your cookies? Something comes up, a page comes up. Do you agree to cookies? No. Always spend a minute going, reject all, or go in and manage. And yes, it takes 30 seconds to do, but don't save cookies where you can. And clear your cache. If you don't know how to do that, there'll be somebody who can help you, or ping me, one of the team, and we'll give you a quick call and show you how to do it. But what happens, remember they talked about before about dynamic pricing? Right. What happens is when you go online and you look for something, based on that browsing behavior, you might look for something, and you can go back to it again, and it's gone up because the seller, the system that they've got in place there is to track what you're doing. And if you've like, we tend to look at things a couple of times. If you've gone back again, by the time you go back, the final time, if you've looked around a few places, you go back, it might have already gone up in price. Hence the doing the put it in your cart thing, but don't buy it type of thing. Just what we call dynamic pricing. It goes up. One of the things you can do, by the way, is if you've got a virtual private network on a VPN system, put that in and then go and buy it, and you'll make sure you'll get that at that price. There we go. There's some top tips for helping you to save a little bit of money at this time of year. Any time of year, really. The only thing I didn't cover on that was look ahead to the time next year, 12 months' time. I look back to where I was this time last year, and I was getting ready for my business, which we've been doing this for 7 years, to go formally live as a full company. 12 months has just flown by. That, the business, Jill being poorly, all the rest of the things, it's gone. In January, start looking at some of these subscription clubs, either for a Christmas club or for the summer for a barbecue club, or anything else that you can put a little bit of weight to each month that you don't necessarily miss, but it's there and paid for. There's another tip for BGS tip for you. Okay, so where does that leave us then on to live streaming? So one of the things that we wanted to cover in this, looking for bargains at this time of year, we've just had Black Friday, we had Cyber Monday, and have all of those things gone? Have you missed the boat? Not necessarily. So one of the things that you can do is go back to the very beginning of this. If you're looking ahead to get something educational, a course, a program within digital engagement, content creation, live streaming as a service, all of those type of things that will massively benefit your loved one or somebody within your business, one of your kids, if they want to get into podcasting or live streaming. Oh, by the way, seen a lot of things lately about, I'm starting a podcast up, and don't start a podcast, lads and girls. Don't live stream, because live stream, you can then do a podcast from it. Oh, incredible. This is growing so fast, and yet there's people out there who still are a step behind. That's no disrespect to them. It's just, I really want to get this across. I mean, I'm so glad that we have tweaked what we're doing now for live streaming as a service, and then the digital engagement packages that come from them. Because the power of live streaming, and and live streaming as a service, it just provides that immediate reach. You've seen it tonight. We've got people watching tonight. There'll be people watching afterwards, but it's great because I can speak to them there, and it's the next best thing I've got to going into the room. Okay, I have no control over, Facebook, Facebook, even though it's a friend, not showing me who the details are. There's some things that we can't get over. What we can get over is we can still put it up. I can check who it was and say hello and a bit of courtesy from everybody. It's authentic communication. It's immediate reach. It's immediate engagement with people. And I love it. It's the next best thing to sat in a room with somebody. Whether you're sharing tutorials, whether you're sharing question and answer sessions, polls, it's that engagement with a real-time viewer. It is the next best thing to be sat in a room with them. So we've talked about doing something for your loved ones that's more tangible and will have a longer term effect on them in the context of what we do at Livestream Solutions, Livestream Academy, and with OneStream Live. What do you need to get started that you can get at this time of year? Because there are still deals there. So for most people, you're going to need a camera, microphone, some lighting. I'll come on to the most important thing in just a second. So what we got to remember, though, is if you take it back a step, what do most laptops and PCs have? They have a built-in camera and mic system, an awful lot of them, especially laptops. And they are sufficient, excuse me, they are sufficient to be able to get you started because the priority isn't them per se. If they're already in, they are good enough. Okay, now for external cameras, obviously improve quality, but it shouldn't hold you back from the beginning. It didn't when I started. Your microphone, quality audio retains views, especially like we do. Download the show, put it into a podcast, and it goes into a different area of reach, engagement, bigger awareness, blah, 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 blah. So the quality audio retains viewers, especially when you're talking about podcasting. But built-in microphones are okay. This is not dial-up. This is not, we've come so far in the world of technology now. No, you can invest in a good microphone. I'm using a Blue Yeti, which was, I think it was about 70 quid or something ridiculous. It was under 100 quid anyway. And it is one of the top ones out there. I like it. Does what I need to do. I'm not a tech nerd. If you're like, oh, well, the Poach 9.647 has got a decibel thing of, I don't care, lads. It's a freaking microphone. I turn it on, it gets good reviews, and it's done brilliant for me. Now, I've got a Logitech C922 camera. In fact, I've got two of them. Look at this. Greetings all. Is me. There's a reason why I'm on multiple cameras. And I see that's actually my office. She's the state of it, a bit scruffy there at the moment. But I'm going to remove that for a second. How do I do that, by the way? That is part of the new enterprise plan system from OneStream Live, where you can have up to 4 cameras on for when you're doing product demonstrations and stuff like that. The reason I've got that on today is just to show you. So the quality of the Logitech C922 camera for me is brilliant. I got it a couple of years ago and I've never changed them. People out there, again, nerds would say, with the greatest respect, I do love you all, would say, well, this one, Shep, is better, because we have moved on. This is brilliant. The Logitech system's great. It does what it says on the tin. The Blue Yeti does. I don't need to focus about rubbish like that. I just want something to do. If I didn't have them, then I'd have the built-in one that's on the system that I've got. It may not be brilliant and perfect, but it is enough to get you going. Lighting. Okay, this is what I showed what I'm doing with the camera in just now. Proper lighting impacts your video quality greatly. Okay, natural light. But natural light is non-cost effective. If you can position yourself by window for lighting, that's absolutely brilliant. It's natural and it's but sometimes the nature of your office, you can get soft boxes, affordable softbox kits and stuff like that, office lights. You can get all sorts of things. But I've got the fancy background on now. I used to have big light systems that were shining me and I couldn't see what I was doing. I was like, I don't need this. I need something that's simple. you know, it may not be brilliant to everybody, but I think the quality of what the platform with what OneStream Live does is the winner chicken dinner. So I'm going to put my camera back up again. It's my second camera into my office. That's my office. Okay, so I've got a space behind me. I've got the sofa over there, some plants and stuff. I've got a desk behind me where I can sit and work out, and I stand because I've got a problem with my spine and my back. I stand at a built-up computer system. Okay, so, but you can see I'm in a room in the top of the house, which is one of the bedrooms, but it's got a slant on it. It's got a slant on it, and the lighting, and it's got a tiny little, excuse me, window across there, and the light doesn't come through that brilliant well. So, you know, I'm struggling a little bit. The office is brilliant, and I'm very blessed to have what I've got. I'm not in the corner of a room somewhere. So look up there. I keep forgetting. So I'm very blessed, but I'm also sort of space-wise because I stand up and everything is done here. So what I did was the big lighting systems which were pointing at me, I can't position this elsewhere because of the slanted roof, because I need to stand. So you need to work around what you've got. So what I've done, right, this I'm gonna show you something tonight that nobody's seen. Okay, so here, that light there and that light there, see it? Oh, let me just step back here and show you the setup. There we go. That is the BGS system. Now let me come back up to there for that. So you can see you can see the lights. That's just on top of the monitor. I've got it on a tilt on the top of the monitor. I'm going to come out of that one, remove. That's back. Two reasons why I wanted to show that. One is because you can do that with the new enterprise system, which is phenomenal. But also the lighting. These lights cost me 50 quid from IKEA. Other shops are available. Of course they are. I don't give a monkey's toss. Again, I like IKEA. It does what it says on the tin. And if I use something, I'll promote them. Yes, they're a big company. But again, yeah, refracted light source. That makes sense. I'm working within the confines of what I've got. So actually the lights, as you can see, are pointing away to the wall. So it is refracted away. But the way that the walls are, because of the color we've got them, it's also it's mint green. So it's nice and calming. I've got some positive things around me when I look. All of those things help you do, especially when you stood up all the time. Oh, I didn't show you the mat. I'm stood on a rubber mat in my bare feet because, again, that helps my posture. It helps my osteoarthritis and all the rest of the problems. So, but it works, doesn't it? The backdrop that I've got from OneStream Live there is taken from their headquarters. I could be in there, you know. It is good. The systems now that you can buy. The whole point is you can get set up very, very quickly. So there's a quick demo to show you don't have to have things perfect. We deal in reality, both in our company and with OneStream Live. It is about getting yourself started. So mic, camera, lights, all the rest, you can do it from your built-in with your own system. If you've got it, you can then start. And again, for me, you know, under 250 quid, yeah, camera, microphone, 2 lights, under 250 quid. Now, that's quite a lot to somebody, accept. But if you're going to invest and you're going to be live streaming or running a podcast, if you're going to be live streaming, is the first and foremost thing, then that's not a bad amount of money, you know. And again, I've got 4 grown-up kids. The sort of thing that I would say to them if I was starting off now was, lads, these are the things that the great Stephen Healy recommended to me to get. He said to me, you need a Blue Yeti ship. You need a C920. Actually, I think it was the Logitech C920 when I went on. They just brought out the C922 before I bought it. And Steve, what do you think? That's the one ship. So I got what was recommended to me. You know why? Because he was mentoring me. Yeah, he's been a godsend to me, Stephen Healy. Absolutely the godfather of live streaming. So I could say to my boys, here you go, lads. I want to get set up. I want to start live streaming. Club together and get me that package between 4 of them. Yeah, something like that. Do you know what I mean? You're just thinking outside a little bit. But what's the important aspect of all that It's the live streaming software. As I said, you can start with nothing. If you've got a laptop, you've got somewhere where there's a little bit of natural light or a room light, as you saw in here, the big lights aren't even on. Actually, they're a hindrance, the big lights when they're on. So that's why I have, quite right, refracted light sources. But the live streaming software is really where it comes to play. So a reliable platform like OneStream Live is essential for streaming the content smoothly across various platforms. We can go to 45, 50 different locations, to your website as well. You know all of these things. If you're watching for the first time, you got to go back. You got to contact OneStream Live and ask to speak to me personally. You've got to contact Livestream Solutions and ask to speak to me personally, because anybody that makes a request for assistance on RFA that comes from one of my lives, I deal with personally. I make no apologies for that, because you've taken the time to watch me, to listen to me, and you want to know more. So I then will take the time, find the time to be able to get that in. So there we go. So the reliable platform, the virtual platform that we get, the software, a cloud-based system that they provide. Again, some brilliant deals to be had. Now everybody needs the enterprise system where you can stream 24/7. Agencies effectively become TV channels from here on in, 24/7. With the enterprise plan, with OneStream Live, 4 camera systems you can have onto it. Or imagine if you're a musician or a band or something. Again, go back to part 1 that we saw last week. It's on YouTube, and some of the huge events that OneStream Live facilitated globally with just like Dragon's Den systems, just absolutely phenomenal what they did. All available through the new enterprise plan now. But there's the pro plan. There are other plans, and soon to come, there will be a whole range of other things coming. CEO told us. You didn't see that episode. You got to go back and watch that one with CEO Hannah Naeem that I did a couple of weeks ago. So there we go. Without the platform, though, ladies and gents, you have nothing, because the platform is everything. The key takeaways, though, from tonight are across all of it, whether you're looking for food shopping, whether you're looking for some deals on technology, whether you're looking to get set up on live streaming, think innovative, shop around. And of course, you've got to prioritize your platform over all of those other things. That's why I wanted to say to people, that's why I mentioned some items tonight, but you'll see no affiliate links, not from me, not until next year. Now, I made myself a promise and to the rest of my team this year that we wouldn't be promoting anything like that. We would be using the stuff, we would talk about the stuff, but we wouldn't be using any affiliate links or stuff like that. Geez, Black Friday has just gone, Cyber Money's just gone. I could have, there could have been a whole range of different things that I could have said to a company, right, well, no, that's not the way we're doing things in year one. So you've got to prioritize your platform over the camera, blah, 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 and everything else. Okay. If you've got the basic equipment, choose on the right platform first before investing heavily in hardware is my point. Embrace imperfection. Don't strive for the start. There's a very good friend of ours. She co-hosted with one of last month's shows with me, and she's from Australia and runs the excellent 5 Foot Rope agency, marketing agency over there. And Susie Manley, based in Brisbane, and she has her people just going live organically. And now we're looking at how we then can potentially work together to take them to this next level. And this is the next level. Don't worry. You know what? Your audience will value your authenticity over a flawless production. On the production side of things, we all know from being ex-military, it is the 7 Ps. Prior preparation and planning prevents poor performance. What the other P is for. Okay, the 7 Ps. So when you've done enough, but it's like working with animals, children, technology. They're the new 3 things in the world now. Something's going to go wrong. It is, but all you can do is plan for what you are doing. So invest in the right path. The audience doesn't care. They like the authenticity. They like the personal approach. They like the reality. I mean, Jesus, lads, come on. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we've been through this how many times before? 60-year-old, 125-kilogram human tiger bouncing around with a whole range of energy, talking about things that he clearly enjoys doing and sharing a message there. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I don't care if I'm not everybody's cup of tea. If you want to be helped, and there are people within my organization who we play to the strengths of the potential client, to the individual who wants to know more. They may be quite quiet and reserved, and we will put you with the right person that benefits you. So you've got to ask yourself two key questions on all this. When we're looking to overcome challenges, so we've looked at some ideas how to save money across the board in different areas. We've looked at things that you can do to get yourself started. And going back to the first bit on how to save money through those as well. But two questions again I want to ask you then. Who is teaching you and what platform are you using? OneStream Live are at the top of the game. So why don't you segue this back to the very, very beginning? Why don't you look at gifting yourself if it's for you, or a loved one, or somebody if it's for your business? Invest in your staff and your business by gifting them a subscription service to OneStream Live and to the Livestream Solutions Livestream Academy packages, where we will then train people between us to take them from step one all the way through. Like my good friend David Topping, also known as White Walker One, who produces and directs and is one of the three guys who host the Ulster Rugby Roundup chat. David started as a viewer, and he became a guest, co-host, host, and now he's a trained producer and director. And we have done all that. So that's why we have the academy system in place, which takes people through. You do that with the OneStream Live. Think about a subscription service. If you're not sure what level that you need to do, or if you've got a bit of experience, or you are technically minded, or you have been a trainer or something like that, and so you're coming in at a different level than a complete novice starter type thing, or you've got a skill set that could be adapted easier. It all starts with that conversation. And we don't know what we don't know, so let's look at that. So just contact, and don't forget, if you go to OneStream Live now, go into OneStream Live now, and in the bottom right hand corner there is a little reddy purple speech box, chat, and you won't find a bot, you'll find a human there. Within literally seconds they will answer you, and you say, listen, I've just watched Big Joe show, can I get in touch with them? I want to find out more about about OneStream Live, about live streaming as a service, the digital engagement packages for me, for my company, for whatever. They will put you in touch with us, and between us, between OneStream Live and my own company, we will get you to where you need to be. So, technical issues. What are the most technical issues that you're likely to come across? Okay, connectivity. When I first started, I didn't have the best broadband. I had to wait, and it was, sometimes it was a bit of pain. So you've got to think about those things as well. What is your broadband like before you go out and buy anything, before you embrace it? Have a think about that. You know, if you can do it in what the SD standard definition, so your upload speed, which is really what you need for live streaming, is about 1.5 megabytes per second. For high definition, that's just 720. You need upload speed of around about 3 megabits per second. Again, they do say about 25% fudge factor on those as well. So you know what. And then for full HD, which is 1080, upload is 5 megs per second. I'm fortunate now I've got gigabit broadband, although where I'm living, it's away from the hub. So I get about 400 download and about 100 upload. I'm not complaining. It's good. So you need to have a look at that as well, because there's nothing worse than when you are connected, you go live, you've done all that work, you've prepped it all, you've got your show ready, and it's buffering and it doesn't work. And it's, let me tell you, there is nothing worse than going through all the work and something doesn't happen, you can't go live, or if you do and people can't understand you, and yeah, it's heart-rendering. It really is. So there's another thing to have a look at. Audio and video delays, sometimes you get that. When we press go to start a live show, when you're new, it's very off-putting, because depending on the platform you're going to, Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn or whatever, there is up to 45 seconds, 50 seconds, maybe a minute delay from when you press it, from it going through the service to the third party entity that you're going out to. Let me tell you, even tonight, with all my years, I'm waiting, and you press go live, and it's going round. You know that whole thing. You're thinking, I just can't wait for it to go. Because when it does, you're like, Jesus, I'm up and running. I'm going. I'm live. And then you go through the process. Then you click in the unified chat. You'll go and check YouTube. You'll go and check Facebook. You make sure it is all showing there for you wonderful people who've taken the time, because you get equipment malfunctions. I regularly used to do this. I would mute myself off for some reason, and then I'd be happy chatting away in my own BJS little world, and then people would be sending me messages. My phone would stop. Jeb, we can't understand. We can't hear you. Somebody said that's not a bad thing, but there we go. The whole point is you test everything beforehand. You test once, test twice, test three, test four. I reset my internet. I clear the cache. I check whether there's any updates been done on everything from my drivers on the system through to Windows updates and everything else. I've had it though in the past where I've done that, and then 5 minutes before I'm even done, I've checked in the morning, there's no updates done on Windows. I get a message on the bottom from the window, and you're thinking, if I don't do this update, and you've got 5 minutes to go. And if you come out the studio, you tend to lose an awful lot of the stuff in any studio. And you've set it all up, you've taken all the time, and and it's like being at a service station when you're filling up your car with petrol, and it is set. Maybe it's just my OCD. It's probably just me, but it's set at. It goes to €49.99 is the price, and then the other thing is it's 18.99 liters, and it's like, how can you get them both to round up? It's just my OCD, but you know what I mean. There's nothing you can do. 5 minutes to go, you've done all this, and you have to then quickly try and find out where all your media everything is as well to upload some of it, because that you've got to do. That's technology, lads and girls. It's technology. There's nothing we can do about it. Brew can't wait for the new editions. Don't know new editions that you're talking about. The new enterprise system is up and running already, or you're talking about the light version where you can sort of build your own things that the CEO spoke about briefly the other week. Let us know. What are you talking about for the new editions? But again, listen, thanks for taking time to time. So test everything before. Test 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Sometimes you don't always have the time to do that, but look, where you can, we always give best practice. Engagement issues, you've got to sort of keep your viewers engaged. For some people, I just talk too much. I like to use video. I like to show you what people love seeing behind the scenes. So when I first started, it was like, I couldn't possibly show anybody, my office behind the scenes, what I'm doing. Why not? We're trying to break down barriers here. We're trying to dispel myths about how difficult it is. There's no smoke and mirrors. I'll leave that to social media and some social media and marketing agencies where it's all smoke and mirrors. Governor, it's like the old building. It'll cost you this much, and rubbish. It is very, very simple to do, and that's why I go back to the questions of who is teaching you. What's the platform that you're using? OneStream Live, make it simple for a reason. Livestream Solutions, we put our packages together for a reason to help people. There's no smoke and mirrors. It's just, this is where we can help you. It all starts with a conversation. Content creation. Content creation, you should be consistently producing fresh content that you put out. But that's got to fit into what your strategy is. What is your business? What's your organization? What do you as an individual, if you're a solopreneur, what do you do? So what is your strategy? What are your products, your services? What about you? Do you tell your story about as was? How did you start the inception? As is, where you are now, what you're doing, and will be the future. So as was, as is, will be the future. Where you're going with things. Take people with you on your journey. So the strategy is simple. And this is why, again, who's teaching you? invest in some programs and some courses with us and with OneStream Live, and we will take you on the journey. We will give you the solutions, because you know what? We have been through that journey. Each of us have been through that journey on our own. David Toppin, viewer, all the way through to his becoming a trained host, producer, and director of his own shows. You can do that too. Anybody can do that. What's your strategy, though? Whatever your strategy is, ladies and gents, live streaming and digital engagement should be the integral part. It should be the hub of everything you're doing in that marketing strategy. So we live stream the show, and we then, from that, we produce some video shorts as teasers or tasters to put out on short form, which we know is very successful nowadays, leading back to the full show. We can write knowledge hub blog articles on a given topic as well to accompany them, because we know anything more than 2,000 words is 20% better. And people provide that. Some people like to listen, some people like to read, some people like to view. So it's semantics for learning, isn't it? VHF, semantics for learning, each of those sort of different touch points. Download the video of the show and put it into a podcast for Spotify for creators now. It's very, very good. And it goes out to a different reach, a different market, a different set of engagement. And again, content scheduling services to make time easy for yourself. We've now got two. We use Missing Letter for our overall social media content scheduling service. Blog articles can go in. They get into bite-sized chunks, and what we call them drip campaigns. Brilliant. And we also use Opus Clips for our short videos, and they've now got a scheduling service where you can do the video shorts and they can go straight out to. We had a very, very good meeting yesterday, myself and David, with the product manager at Opus. And again, all of those things that makes life simpler for you in a busy world, we use. There we go. So what are the takeaways? So we've covered the essential strategies really for navigating holiday shopping, and some of the things you can do both now and moving into 2025 to help you save money. It takes a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of thinking about, but that creativity, being creative, being innovative in what we're doing, it's not difficult. It's just thinking things through a little bit more to help you save money. Speak to people who are in the know. The likes of Stephen Healy, the likes of myself, the people on Stream Live, on the products and tools that we use. Tell you who does a really great explanation of tools and things to use is DJ Strick, Stephen Strick, who is one of the joint venture partners as well. All of his shows and on YouTube. Go to YouTube and you will see the full range, Stephen Healy stuff, my own stuff, and it is all there. It is like a free university for taking you from where you are to where you need to be in conjunction with us. So what else did we cover tonight? Sales. Oh, the old book your cart thing. Remember, put stuff in your cart, leave it, they'll come back to you. Dynamic buying, dynamic pricing, what companies do there. So how to get around that as well. Number of key there takeaways anyway. One of the biggest ones is thoughtful gift, long-lasting value over temporary items is always good. Time matters. Shopping late in the day can yield you better deals, online and offline. Cameras and microphones, essential tools, cameras, microphones, and lighting are great and add value, but you don't necessarily need them to get started. Your internet, you do. Regularly testing your equipment and the internet connections, by the way. The other thing I do is go to Ookla, OOKLA, Ookla speed test. There are others available, but I prefer that one. And you can test how fast your broadband is to be able to see where you are now. And say you're paying your broadband provider for, 500 megs or whatever, and you're only getting 50, get on the phone to them. and tell them that you're going to move, because there's a lot of it's a buyer's market out there now for things like that. The other thing though is, like I'm upstairs, so I've got to run a wire up, because obviously wired in is always going to be better than Wi-Fi for doing this type of thing. So there's all those things. Again, we teach people all of this. You don't even have to know it to be able to do. Utilising interactive elements and everything that we're doing keeps people engaged, being able to talk to people tonight. I'm so grateful for the people who have engaged with us tonight, and along with everything that we always do each week. So what have we got left the rest of the year? We've got 2 more shows. Yes, it's normally every Tuesday at 8:30 UK and Ireland, 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon Eastern Time in the States, and in global equivalents around the world. But it's Christmas time. So part 3 is this Saturday, the 21st, but at 8:30 with me, Big Joe Shep. And we will be looking at New Year, new goals, resolutions, and planning for 2025. We'll explore effective goal setting strategies for personal and professional growth, and help you learn how to leverage your live streaming journey to achieve success in 2025. Until then, thanks very much for everybody who's joined us tonight. Thank you to OneStream Live for everything that they have done to help us with that. And once again, we'll leave you with a little bit of Christmas courtesy of OneStream Live. Take care, stay safe. Thank you.
Virtual Christmas with OneStream Live. It was the night before Christmas, and all through the stream, not a viewer was stirring. It seemed like a dream. The cameras were set, the lights shining bright, in hopes that Santa would soon be in sight. The live chat was buzzing with excitement and cheer as viewers waited for Santa to appear. With OneStream Live, the stream was grand, bringing Christmas joy to every social land. The countdown began and anticipation grew as the streamers prepared, their hearts all a-woo. With live streaming magic, they spread holiday cheer, delivering joy to everyone on web, far and near. The sleigh bells jingled as Santa arrived. Through multi-streaming, his presence survived. He waved to the camera. The love was transmitted. Through social media and websites, the Christmas spirit rekindled. The viewers rejoiced, their spirits now bright, as Santa granted their wishes all through the night. With OneStream Live, the magic was real. From the North Pole to screens, our Christmas was ideal.